Hi Capricorn, and welcome to your horoscope for April 2025. Thanks for joining me. My horoscopes are based on the UK time zone, and please watch them in this order: for your rising sign first, then for your sun sign, and finally for your moon sign. So what I'll do in this video is I'm going to break April down into 4 weeks, and I'm going to pay particular attention to what the moon is doing, which one of your houses it sits in and when, so that you know what areas of life you're supported in and when in this month of April. So week 1, Tuesday the 1st until Sunday the 6th of April. On the 1st of April, we have the moon in Taurus, and that's in your 5th house of what you love to do, but it's also the house of romance and love in general and children. And we also have Uranus, the planet of the miraculous and unexpected there. So if you're a Capricorn who's single, it might be very likely that you meet someone on the 1st of April. But the thing is that we still have Venus, the planet of love and beauty, in retrograde, and that only goes direct on the 12th of April. So if you meet the absolute right one, be very careful around that and wait until the planet goes direct before you commit to anything. But the great thing about Venus retrograde is that you're able to see things differently. And if you decide, or if you discover on the 1st that there's a new kind of career or a new way of earning a living that you love and that you'd love to kind of explore and consider, really go for that. It may pay off in earnest. Then on the 2nd and 3rd, we have the moon going into Gemini, and that joins Jupiter, the lucky planet in Gemini, in your 6th house of work and daily routine and the structure of your life. And Gemini is about problem solving. So these 2 days are great to sort out your diet, to implement a new way of exercising, to change your look, to change your wardrobe, to get your calendar in order, to decide whether you want to work full-time, whether you want to reduce your hours or increase your hours. It's to get organized, basically, and to get on top of your calendar, your schedule, and your routine. Then on the 4th, 5th, and 6th of April, the moon goes into Cancer, and it joins Hades and Mars in Cancer in your 7th house of relationships. And again, remember, we still have Venus in retrograde here. And on the 4th of April, we have the moon reaching its 2nd quarter. It's waxing, so it's getting bigger. It's halfway on its way to becoming a full moon on the 12th of April. So on this day, you may have some conflict with people in your life who you don't really want to have conflict with. It may be that you're being asked to take care of something that you don't think is your responsibility, or you may have to deal with a certain person who really you want to get away from as quickly as possible. I think the key thing is to be patient, to try and have a sense of empathy, and to try and see the value in that situation. So if I do help this person out, what does it do for them? What does it do for me? Is there some sort of bigger and better outcome to my discomfort? I think that could alleviate your frustration. So first week, not so ideal for you, Capricorn. The moon starts in your 5th house, where it could potentially hook you up with the wrong partner. And on the 6th of April, it ends up in your 7th house of relationships. So I think the first week, really, the big benefit is to get your routine in order and to make changes to the structure of your everyday routine and to improve that. Week 2, Monday to Sunday, the 7th to the 13th of April. On the 7th and 8th, we've got the moon in Leo, and that joins your transiting ascendant, also known as the rising sign. That's also in Leo, and that's in your 8th house of institutions and authorities. And on this day, the 7th of April, the good news is that we have Mercury, the communication planet, going direct. So if you have any negotiations going on at the moment, if you have to deal with bureaucracy, paperwork, red tape, if you have legal issues that need dealing with, you're in touch with the tax people, you may be selling a house, buying a house, you're an escrow, you're dealing with lawyers, anything like that. Expect that to go very, very well. Expect you to get your point across, not to be misunderstood, and expect to you can be yourself, express what you're really thinking, and get the outcome that you're after. Then on the 9th and 10th, the moon goes into Virgo, and it goes into your 9th house of travel, education, and the higher realms. And this is a really good 2-day period to decompress, to chill a little bit, to recharge yourself by being out in nature, by visiting a place that fills you with a sense of wonder, and that gives you an appreciation for how beautiful this planet is and how beautiful nature can be. So if you live in a big city, maybe take a train out to some sort of nearby beauty spot. Or if you're unable to travel, look at reading up on things that you find interesting and that, again, fill you with a sense of wonder. That's what will recharge you. On the 11th, 12th, and 13th, the moon goes into Libra, and it goes into your 10th house of work. So these 3 days are wonderful to work with other people specifically. Libra is, if you look at the glyph of Libra, it's a bridge with a bump in it. So it's able to create community. It's able to create connections where there weren't any. So this placement over the 3-day period, the 11th, 12th, and 13th, are great for you to network, to get your foot in the door with a new business. If you have a manuscript that you want publishing, maybe you could call them up and get some sort of response. On the 12th of April, particularly, we have Venus, the planet of love and beauty and creativity and creating wealth and prosperity. That goes direct. When that's in retrograde, it's not a good idea to start a new relationship or a new business. So from the 12th onwards, it's great to do both those things. And with the moon being in your 10th house, if you're a Capricorn who's been thinking of going self-employed, the 12th of April onwards is the time to register the company with Company House, to start your own business, to get going with that. I'm aware that with retrogrades there are shadow periods, but in this case, with the moon being in your 10th house, I think that mitigates the effects of any shadow period. And I think you're able to really start something new and give it a birthday. And on top of that, we have a full moon in Libra happening on the 12th of April. So the moon reaches its completion point. It showers you with Libra energy, and it really encourages you to make connections. So if you're employed in your existing job and you're working with other people, that's likely to go very well. But also if you want to start your own business, that's also a really great opportunity to make that happen. So in the second week, the moon starts on the 7th in your 8th house, and it ends on the 13th in your 10th house. So that's really the top half of your chart. It's to do with dealing with bureaucracy, dealing with work, and then in the middle of that second week, having a little bit of time to decompress just by getting in touch with nature or by reading and learning something that gives you a sense that, you know, there are other things in life as well. It's not just work. It's not just filling in forms. There are also places of fantasy and wonder. Week 3, Monday to Sunday, the 14th to the 20th of April. On the 14th and 15th, the moon is in Scorpio, and that's now in your 11th house of hopes and dreams. And it's joined by Black Moon Lilith and Vesta, and they're both in Scorpio as well. These 2 days are wonderful for you to figure out what it is you really want for your future. What are your hopes and dreams? Where do you center yourself, and where do you take instruction and say, oh, okay, well, I want to be an artist, but mom said I should get a plan B and work as a receptionist, and wherever I followed that kind of instruction. And Vestas, the home, ultimately, where do I see myself being in future? What is it that I want to create for myself? So these 2 days, the 14th and 15th, you're able to reflect on that and really discover something outside of the box that may not even exist yet, and that may be something of your own creation. On the 16th, 17th, and 18th, the moon moves into Sagittarius, and it goes into your 12th house of spirituality. And on the 16th of April, Mercury, the communication planet, ingresses into Aries, and it's in your 4th house of family. The moon being in Sagittarius and Mercury now moving also into a fire sign at the very bottom of your chart means that you're going to have a great sense of spiritual connection, and like your connection to something bigger is your home. It's not just your family, it's not just where you live, that you also have a spiritual home out there in the mysterious realms, and that connecting with that is what really inspires you and gives you insight into what you could manifest in future. And to think for yourself, and to, instead of saying, you know, this is what my dad did and this is what my friends do, maybe I want to do something completely different, and that comes from my connection to the higher realms. For instance, that's how I got this job. I was meditating, I was a school teacher, I was meditating one day, and I got the message, and it said, take your daily tarot reading and put it on YouTube. And I followed instructions, and it grew into me putting that out every day, and also including astrology. And 10 years later, here I am talking to you. So sometimes the universe can be far more direct and practical in giving us answers that we can apply in a physical way, even though that seems counterintuitive because it's the invisible realms. How can they give me something tangible to go on? Also, on the 18th of April, we have Mars going into Leo, and Mars moves into Leo in your 8th house of institutions and authorities. And what's also in there is your transiting rising sign in Leo. So this is positive as far as any negotiations are concerned, any legal issues, anything that needs doing with the tax people or the government. On the other side of that, we have Pluto in Aquarius and Pallas in Aquarius. So if you have extra money, this is a good time to invest. If you're selling or buying a property, this is a good time to do it. And you'll see a really quick turnaround. And again, see what your higher self, your guides, say about this, and whether there are different ways of creating wealth, or taking a shortcut, or doing something completely differently in your own unique way. I think you, Capricorn, are being selected here to operate in a way that is not mainstream, and that is completely outside of the norm of what most other people do. So I feel out of all of the signs that the higher realms are taking a particular interest in you, and because you're a hard worker, they're showing you ways which you can use to create abundance and prosperity and having more than enough, but which aren't conventionally known. Like a career counselor wouldn't be able to tell you about them because they don't exist just yet. Then on the 19th and 20th, the moon moves into your sign of Capricorn. It goes into your 1st house of self, and it opposes Hades in Cancer in your 7th house of relationship. Also on the 19th, we have the sun going into Taurus, and that goes into your 5th house of what you love to do, but also who you love. So it's interesting because you're being asked to reevaluate your life and to say, what is it that I love to do work-wise? What is it ultimately that I want out of relationships? Even if I've been disappointed in relationships and I haven't got what I wanted, the universe is asking me to dream again, to try again, and it's asking me to have faith that the miraculous is possible. So if you go with that, Capricorn, and I know that's hard for an earth sign to have this faith that miraculous thing can and will happen if you believe, that I think this month of April is really going to provide you with something completely unexpected. On the 20th of April, the moon reaches its 4th quarter, so it's a half moon, and it's waning away on its way to becoming a new moon on the 27th of April. So you have the peace and quiet to look at the things that usually you wouldn't want to look at because they've caused you pain in the past or they've disappointed you in the past. And you have the peace and the support spiritually to try again. And you'll get a very different outcome. And I know this is a delicate topic. Me, personally, I realize that, if something hasn't worked several times, that sometimes it seems much wiser to be like, hands off, give up. This is not for you. What I'm saying goes counter to my own personal beliefs in many ways. But here, the chart this month for you, Capricorn, it's saying if something has really hurt you and disappointed you, have faith that it can work. Try again here in April and you'll be surprised. So week 3, the moon starts in your 11th house of hopes and dreams, and it finishes in your 1st house of self. So it's transcending your current self by listening to the message of the universe and what it has in store for you. Week 4, Monday to Wednesday, the 21st to the 30th of April. On the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, the moon is in Aquarius, and it joins Pluto and Pallas in Aquarius in your 2nd house of money. So these are 3 days where, again, you can have great insights and unique ideas when it comes to how do I create an income, how can I also be of service to other people at the same time, or how can I provide a service, or how can I offer something that has a lot of value that's then going to reward me with financial success and become a career of my own. So I really think this is the month for the Capricorn who wants to make themselves self-employed and who wants to start some sort of spiritually based business. On the 21st of April as well, we have Mercury reaching its greatest western elongation. Look for the planet low in the eastern sky just before sunrise, and Mercury is in Aries, and it's going to be twinkling at you saying do something of your own, particularly something that has come from a very unexpected, unusual spiritual place, and see where that leads you. On the 22nd and 23rd, we have the Lyrids meteor shower, and the best time to see those is going to be after midnight. And the constellation Lyra is associated with music, harmony, and creativity. So it's about you getting creative with your working life, with your hopes and dreams, and having faith that things can be like a fantasy and that it doesn't have to be bitter disappointment and just work and paying bills and following the rules and instructions, that you too can live a life of magic and wonder. On the 24th and the 25th, the moon moves into Pisces, and that goes into your 3rd house of communication, and it's next to the moon and the North Node and Saturn. And this is a day to really receive even more messages, to journal, to write down what it is you're receiving, what information is coming through, and how that is then intended to get you to where you want to be, or to even jot down what these new hopes and dreams are. So this is the rebirth of you, Capricorn, as an individual. Completely new hopes and dreams, completely new directions in life, completely new desires. On the 26th, the moon goes into Aries, and that's a great day to spend with family members, to heal relationships, to be of service to people you're very close to. Doesn't have to be your actual family. It could be people who are like family, and to express things that have kept you separate, to heal things, to apologize for arguments, to come back together. On the 27th, 28th, and 29th, the moon then moves into Taurus, and it goes into your 5th house of what you love to do work-wise, and also love and romance. And on the 27th, particularly, we have a new moon in Taurus, so a ton of Taurus energy is being pulled in, and we've got the moon, the sun, and right in between we have the transiting midheaven. So again, in your case, the energy that's being pulled in is, this is a job that only you can do, that you would love and enjoy, that would make you feel like your hopes and dreams are being realized, like you're home, and it would be something you could do consistently. I don't think it's going to be so much about, I am interested in experiencing physical love and having a one-night stand, for instance. It could be that. But I think the more constructive way of using this energy is to contemplate and to say, universe, you've given me so much to work with this whole month. Tell me, what is it that I'm supposed to do with my life when it comes to work? Finally, on the 30th of April, we've got the moon going into Gemini, and it joins Jupiter, the lucky planet, in your 6th house again. And Gemini is about problem solving. If you look at the glyph of Gemini, it's a door. And in your 6th house, on this day as well, we have Venus, the planet of love and beauty and creativity and business, ingressing into Aries. That goes into your 4th house, your roots on your IC. And I really think that this door opens for you. The good luck is that I have now figured out what I could do work-wise, and I'm going to walk through this door, and I'm going to pursue this in earnest and see where it leads me. So the other thing is, Neptune, the planet of dreams and intuition, that's been in Pisces for the last 14 years, and it's now gone into Aries on the 30th of March. And it's in your 4th house, in Aries, your roots, and it's saying change your roots by operating differently, doing something different in your working life so that you're not reliant on anyone else. You're living the dream by doing something that you're really passionate about. You're creating your own foundation, your own roots, and that's something that you can really be proud of moving forward, and not just proud of, you can benefit from it financially and offer something of value to the world. So in this last week, I'm not sure if I've done this already, but in this last week, the moon moves from your 2nd house of money, and it ends up in your 6th house of work. So that's pretty much the whole of the lower half of the chart, except the 1st house. So that's really asking you to evaluate your roots, how you make money, how you see the world, what it is you love to do, and what you want your routine to be. So Capricorn, this is very interesting to me because I always call you the sign of the worker. And here we've got a situation where the universe is asking you to completely reevaluate that and to say, Am I going to work differently? Am I going to change course? Am I satisfied with where I am? But the universe is talking to me and giving me information. So at the very least, something is likely to change. So I hope that gives you an idea of what you'll be working with. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. To draw up your birth chart, I need your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, that's not a huge problem. I can use sunrise. But the only thing with that is that the ascendant, the rising sign, and the house placements are then going to be off. There's a process called chart rectification where you send me 10 or more significant life events, and I can actually work out your time of birth, and then it is accurate. And once I have your charts in front of me, it shows me a great deal about you, your life purpose, your vocational aptitudes, what's destined for you in certain areas, finance, love, romance, where you're naturally lucky, where you have to do very little, where you may have to work a little bit harder. To look at what's coming up in future, I look at the progress chart and the transits. That shows me what's coming up over the next few months and even years. If it's around your birthday, I draw up a solar return chart. That shows me what's happening from your birthday this year until your birthday next year. And if there's anything around location or moving, I look at the astrocartography, and that shows me what parts of the world are going to influence you and how. So if you're interested in any of that, please do get in touch with me for a personal reading via the website gregoryscott.com. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, please. That's what helps the videos show up in searches. Subscribe for more videos in future, and please share the video. That's what helps the channel grow. I also do a daily tarot reading on this channel. I have always loved to do that. So if you would like to watch that, then please become a member of this channel. For your membership, you get 30 or 31 videos every month. I do it every day. So it would be great to see you there. Please do consider becoming a channel member. Have a wonderful April, and I will speak to you soon. All the best.